I am returning to the Philippines because my country is now in crisis. I have my bulletproof vest, hoping that would be some kind of a protection. But if they hit me in the head, there's nothing we can do there. In a matter of 3-4 minutes, it could be all over, you know. And I may not be able to talk to you again after this. So this is the danger.
Benigno is coming.
I warned him not to come back when I saw him in New York 3 months ago. He wants to grab power.
Hi, Mr. Sunil. Good morning.
Mr. O'Neill!
Yes.
Telephone call for you. New York. Wait here.
Hello.
Tony?
You gotta stop in Honduras on the way home. The United States is holding military maneuvers there to shake up the Sandinistas.
Alex, Marcos and his wife and their goon squads, they have a stranglehold here. All with American support, especially Reagan. Now, Aquino is about to land, and maybe he's gonna say enough is enough. For God's sake, Alex, this guy could start a revolution.
Tony, cover Aquino's arrival, then get back here. Just don't forget to stop in Honduras.
Alex! God damn! Come on, let's go. We're going to the airport. I can't find a thing about Ninoy's return in here. I'll never get used to this.
Better get used to it, man.
After years in a Marcos prison and 3 years of exile in Boston, Senator Ninoy Aquino is leaving his family behind to return home to Manila.
Okay, Rolly, let's go.
Marcos prison. And 3 years of exile in Boston, Senator Ninoy Aquino is leaving his family behind to return home to Manila. It is a risk. He is still technically under arrest. He has no valid passport. But there are a lot of Filipinos who see him as the only hope in a country racked with political and economic strife. This is Tony O'Neill reporting from Manila.
I think the very fact alone that we can land is victory enough. Everything after that's bonus. I mean, whether they put me back in the plane and ship me out or bring me to prison, I promise to return. I have returned against all odds. So that's good enough for me.
I want to kiss him.
Ramon, get some of that. Come on.
China Airlines Flight 4811, now arriving at Gate 8.
Sige, mga bata! This way! This way is coming now!
Did you get anything? I didn't. It happened too fast, damn fast. I bet the bastard's guilty.
Hello?
This is Kyoto News Agency. Is this Mrs. Aquino?
Yes?
We have heard that your husband has been killed. Can you confirm this?
I've heard nothing. What time is it?
It's 2:15 in the morning there in Boston, Mrs. Aquino.
Hey, Ben.
It's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
How does Marcos think he's gonna get away with this shit?
According to eyewitness reports, a man in his 20s with blue denims rushed around to the front of the plane. He shot Aquino once in the back of the head from behind. Security men immediately opened fire on the assailant with automatic rifles and killed him.
Mr. President, who was the assailant?
We have not been able to identify him. We are issuing photographs in order for the public to help us.
Mr. President, there were over 1,000 security men at the airport. How could a single assassin penetrate the tightest security that's ever been deployed?
The protection of a public figure against a determined killer who is prepared to die in the attempt at assassination will always be one of the most difficult, if not impossible, tasks of security men in the world.
Mr. President, if I may, what was the motive of the assassin?
We have no idea. Probably a plain communist rub-out.
Why the communists, Mr. President?
To create chaos and then take advantage of the situation. We were aware of these plots. As you know, we asked Senator Aquino to delay his return. I would caution all of you not to make dangerous assumptions. We will unravel this tragedy. I assure you that.
And here at the State Department, officials sought to absolve President Marcos of responsibility for the assassination. Spokesman Alan Romberg took the unusual step of citing diplomatic dispatches from the American Embassy in Manila to try to disprove a reported link between the Marcos regime and the killing.
Embassy reporting indicates that the report alleging that Mr. Aquino was killed by shots from several security personnel using rifles is erroneous.
Alex, how in the hell does the State Department know Marcos had nothing to do with this? You know Reagan's not going to be here. You can bet on that.
Why don't you ask your boy Mike Hazeltine at the American Embassy? I'm sure he'll give you the real story.
Perfect, Alex. Listen, Aquino's wife and children are returning home tomorrow to go to the funeral. I'm going to cover the story.
Okay. All right, listen, cover the funeral and then get back here. Remember, Manila is not the center of the universe.
Yeah, neither is New York.
There's a line out there that stretches for miles, my love. They know you did this for them. And they will not forget. And neither will I. We will not rest until the men who ordered your father's murder have paid for the crime.
Manila has stopped today. Hundreds of thousands of Filipinos are marching in tribute to former Senator Benigno Ninoy Aquino. His brutal, unsolved murder while in military custody 10 days ago has awakened the biggest wave of political protest in Philippine history, directed at one man, Ferdinand E. Marcos. A lavish reception for visiting United States Senator Mark Hatfield.
Mom?
This is Tony O'Neill reporting from Manila.
I want to see everything we have on tape regarding U.S. support to Marcos.
How far back?
Since Reagan took office, 1980.
Tony, I've got Alex.
Wish me luck. Alex,
Yeah, Tony.
I want to do a piece on Marcos and Imelda. They have stepped over the line. It's the beginning of the end for these guys.
Tony, I had to push you on the plane to Manila. Now you're telling me you want to stay. What gives?
Well, the turnout for Ninoy's funeral was bigger than Gandhi's. They've gone too far this time.
Tony.
Alex, just give me a couple of months. That's all I need. This is going to be the biggest story in Southeast Asia.
You better be right, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alex. Shit, I'm late. Eva, where's that barong?
Here it is, Tony.
Ah, yes. Thank you very much. Ramon, everything since 1980. I like it here.
Yeah, sure, you know, you can talk this thing to death, but we'll never find out what really happened, you know?
It suits you. It's great.
I have to go to the palace tonight.
Pinagsasaya nila ang pagkamatay ni Ninoy.
Emilio,
Excuse me, I was saying, you're going to the palace on the night of Ninoy's funeral?
Yeah, it's my job. I gotta cover a story.
I'm sorry. My brother is the family radical.
Well, you should be too. Our father stood up to Marcos and he died in prison for it.
I defend human rights.
A lot of good that will do. Your legal protection is a joke. Everyone who's considered a threat to security can be picked up off the streets and never be seen again. Why don't you ever march with us?
Because I'm not a Marxist. And I don't believe in violence.
Well, I'm not either. Only Americans are stupid enough to think that everyone on the left is a Marxist.
Emilio!
I'm sorry, Uncle.
Well, don't say sorry to me. Apologize to our guest.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Not all Americans support Reagan.
Tony O'Neill, World Broadcast News.
Nice to see you.
Thursday. Mr. Hatfield. Mrs. Hatfield.
Mr. O'Neill,
Mrs. Marcos.
where is your beautiful young friend this evening?
She has a headache.
Quite a few of our guests had headaches tonight.
These are anxious times, Mrs. Marcos. Good evening.
I hate what you do with your hair. Michael Hazeltine, U.S. Embassy.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening. I am very disappointed. The American ambassador cannot be with us tonight.
He sends his sincere apologies, sir. Senator.
Mike.
Mrs. Hatfield.
Good evening.
Mrs. Marcos.
Good evening, Mr. Hazeltine.
You look as lovely as ever.
Thank you. This is my daughter, Amy.
I like your new hairdo. Good evening.
Real sensitivity, huh?
What do you mean?
Ninoy's funeral was today. They're throwing the biggest party of the year.
Marcos didn't do it. He's not that stupid.
Bye, come on.
It was some communist guy. What's his name? An undercover NPA.
I know the whole story. Okay? Raleigh Galvin, small-time thug by day. Commander Bert Ramos, communist guerrilla fighter by night. Who came up with that bullshit? You guys or Marcos?
It's not bullshit, Tony.
My mother would have trouble believing the official story. Gallman, who never had a political thought in his life, wants to top Aquino. Goes past 1,000 crack guards, leaps 15 feet in the air and shoots Aquino in the back of the head before he gets off the steps.
There is nothing that links the Marcoses to the killing.
They'd never be charged even if there was. He's got the legal system in his pocket just like everything else.
Come on, will you, Tony?
You know what I think?
What?
As far as you guys are concerned, Marcos can do whatever he likes as long as we keep the U.S. bases Clark and Subic. I wouldn't put it past you to waste Aquino yourselves.
Okay, whatever you say, we set the whole thing up.
I'm sure you did.
I paid Gallman personally. 10,000 pesos and 6 pairs of embroidered shorts.
You better watch what you say. You might read in the paper.
This is Prospero Olivas, Metrocom Chief. Juan Ponce Enrile, my Minister of Defense. The Vice Chief of Staff, General Ramos. the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Ver.
Senator.
We embrace you, we salute you, we thank you for coming here and helping us during those dark days of World War II. All these fellows fought with us.
Love is the most potent force in the world, more powerful than the nuclear bomb. And love can only be expressed in one way: feelings. Feelings, nothing more than feelings, trying to forget my feelings of love, teardrops.
The way I look at it,
Rolling down
the only one who benefited from this Aquino killing are the communists. They have made us look as if we are engaged in killing our political opponents. We have bent backwards in helping political opposition grow and allowed them to win elections that we could have won easily with a little more push. We have written an election code that gave them more rights than they ever expected. But now, the communists have made us look bad because of this assassination.
Bakit kailangan kita? Bakit uhaw sa hamog? Pag-ibig ko sinta. Bakit ang awit ay kailangan ng himig na kailangan ng tinig na kailangan ng titig?
What language do you think in?
What language do I think in?
Yeah.
I think in English. Except that when I feel intensely about something, I have to speak Tagalog. Tagalog is for the emotions. And we Filipinos are very emotional people.
I've noticed that.
When we make love, you speak in English.
Oh, you don't understand Tagalog, do you?
Try me.
Kailangan kita. I need you. Sakaling di mo alam. Just in case you didn't know. Basta kailangan kita. As far as I'm concerned, I need you. Magpakailan pa man. Forevermore, my darling. Mahal na mahal kita. Pero kapag niloko mo ako, bubugin kita.
That sounds beautiful.
You don't even know what I was saying.
Say whatever you like.
You know what I said?
What?
I said that I love you very, very much. But if ever you cheat on me, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Here in the Philippines, the nation still doesn't know who killed Ninoy Aquino. President Marcos has promised to form an investigative panel. We're still waiting. The delay, however, doesn't seem to bother Washington. Since President Reagan took office, the Marcoses haven't had to worry about American support.
We love your adherence to democratic principles and to the democratic processes.
In World War II, Filipinos and Americans fought and died together. And you yourself, Mr. President, played an unforgettably heroic part in that conflict.
An increasing number of Americans are asking themselves why. Here is a large part of the reason. Clark Air Base and Subic Bay Naval Bases. Massive, strategically vital links in America's Pacific Defense Command. America has a lease with the Philippine government until 1992, and defense planners say the bases are crucial. This is Imelda Marcos' film center, modeled on the Parthenon. It's the latest of her building projects designed to impress tourists from America and around the world. Last year, when crews pushed around the clock to rush completion in time for the First Lady's International Film Festival, tragedy struck. An entire floor collapsed, trapping the workers below. The cement had not had time to dry properly. The Marcos Control media said 28 died, but people here believe 168 workers were buried alive in quick-drying concrete. But Mrs. Marcos would not allow work to stop to remove the bodies, which were simply covered over with a fresh layer of cement. Now many Filipinos say the place is haunted. The building opened on time, and Hollywood stars flocked to the gala. It was reminiscent of the lavish opening of an earlier pet project of Mrs. Marcos, the Philippine Cultural Center, when then Governor Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy were on hand. The friendship between the two presidents and their respective first ladies goes back at least that far.
The tourists don't come to the place they call Smoky Mountain, a fetid, steaming mass of garbage where 10,000 Filipinos have built a city. Amid this world of stench, they make a living by scavenging through the refuse of Manila.
It is a place Imelda Marcos doesn't want the tourists to see, despite the fact it has existed in the heart of Manila as long as many of Mrs. Marcos's other building projects. Filipinos arrive here from the provinces. They live here, they have children here, and every day they die here. This is Tony O'Neill reporting from Manila.
We took that off the satellite.
I want to talk to him.
I'd like to tie my tie. Let me tie my tie. This better be good. This better be good.
Mrs. Marcos?
Mr. O'Neill, you have made me a little sad.
I guess that explains my quick departure from home.
I'm a fan of yours.
Thank you.
Even before you came here. I used to see you on American television, and I say to myself, what a young and intelligent man. Now I'm angry at myself because I have not explained to you why I have built all those buildings. You don't think I care about the people in Smoky Mountain, do you?
Well, yes, ma'am. I'm sure you do. My report just asked, why don't you spend more money on them?
Sit down. No. Here with me. Food is only one of the needs of the Filipino. There's something he needs even more than that.
What is that?
respect. Until Ferdinand and I, the world looked down on the Philippines and on the Filipino. We were a poor third world country. We are still a poor country, but the buildings I have made have been noticed all over the world. We now have the respect of great artists, movie stars, and international leaders. I have made Manila one of the great cities, and every Filipino feels proud. Tony, if there's anything that bothers you about my policies, please come to me. I will only be too happy to explain.
Hey, it's Tony.
Tony? You must be psychic. I was just going to phone you.
Yeah? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. They raved about the Outback shots I sent them, and I've written half the text already. It's going to be published in November.
Well, that's great.
You know, it's funny coming back to your own country. I saw it with totally new eyes.
Well, did you meet a few old friends?
Hundreds. Grant Robson's here.
Grant, huh? What is he doing there?
He's running a restaurant in Sydney. Can you believe it?
Yeah. And speaking of Sydney, I'm thinking about flying down there next Wednesday.
No, I'm coming up. That's what I was going to call you about. New York's flipped over this Aquino stuff, and they want the next book to be based there. I just got the telex. Well, I was going to come up next week anyway. I mean, it's crazy. You're only 6 hours away, and I haven't seen you for months. You know, they asked me if I had any objections. I said, you've got to be joking. My husband's in Manila. Isn't that terrific?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, when will you be here?
Oh, sometime next week. I'll let you know. I do love you. I can hardly wait.
Yeah, me too. I'll talk to you later. Oh, shit.
I know there are accusations and suspicions among some of you here that I am linked in some way to the Aquino killing. So I called you here to clear the air. I cannot understand these rumors. It was the president and I who pleaded with Ninoy not to come back again because of the dangers. It is not the president and the first lady you have put on trial. It is the whole population of the country. The stigma is now over 52 million beautiful human beings who are being accused of being criminals. I've had it with politics. I am retiring. I would have made my move the other day, but the blind, the poor, the jeepney drivers, and the other beautiful poor people protested too much. My problem is my sensitivity and my Girl Scout mentality.
I missed you.
This is the Marcos way. People are angry, he shoots them.
There were 19 students killed. The snipers were in that building.
I'm going to march.
With who?
With the middle class in Makati. With the people who march there every Friday.
You know the sort of mood Marcos is in?
I'm going to do it, Joker. Until the murderers of these people and my husband are brought to justice.
Good evening. The quicker you tell us who all your friends are, the quicker you'll get out of here.
I don't know anybody. No!
Stop. This is all very unnecessary. Please cooperate. Give me some names.
I don't know anybody!
Increase the voltage.
Emilio is dead. Sally's been detained at Fort Bonifacio.
God damn it!
Do you know anyone who can help?
Yeah.
Come on. Mike Heseltine, please. Tony O'Neill.
Mike Heseltine from Saigon, is he here?
Yeah, but it's not the same Mike we used to know.
Yeah.
Mike, a very good friend of mine, has just been picked up by intelligence agents. She's being held at Fort Bonifacio.
What's your name?
Sally Balamo.
I'll do what I can do, Tony, but these guys don't always listen to us.
For Christ's sake, make them listen, okay?
What's going on?
A niece of a friend of mine is being held in prison, and she's probably being tortured right now.
Oh, Jesus. Does this happen a lot?
All the time. Who did it?
Cruz.
It's okay. You're okay now.
Only weeks after the Mineola Bridge massacre, Tori is out on the streets demanding the government take action for the murder of her husband. And the people defying the guns are joining her. And the people who are joining her aren't the radicals, they're the middle class. If Tori succeeds in mobilizing the middle class, then Marcos could be in trouble. This is Tony O'Neill reporting from Makati, in downtown Manila.
Whereas the treacherous and vicious assassination of former Senator Ninoy Aquino has to all Filipinos become a national tragedy and national shame, especially because of the distortions and exaggerations in both foreign and local media. I, Ferdinand E. Marcos, hereby create an independent fact-finding board to be headed by Justice Corazon Juliano Agrava.
Marcos and Ver are dragging me and the armed forces into the gutter with them.
Marcos protects Ver at our expense.
We must get rid of them both.
Get rid of that garbage.
General, 33 AFSICOM men were tested for nitrate traces on their hands to determine if they had fired guns. Sergeant Filomeno Miranda, who descended the stairs directly behind Aquino, was not tested. Isn't that true?
Yes. It was an error that was discovered too late.
General Ver, according to Senator Doy Laurel, Ninoy said that Imelda Marcos asked him not to come home because, quote, some of our boys will kill you to make us feel happy, even though we won't ask them to, end of quote. Have you ever heard of a plot planned by the friends of the President and the First Lady?
No. I heard scuttlebutt, but a plot to murder Aquino in such a way as to implicate the government.
In that case, General, if the government was to be implicated, I presume you began to monitor Ninoy's movements and to make plans regarding his arrival.
We did not monitor.
Fool.
I should not have allowed this to happen. When you are called, you must keep on stressing that you told Ninoy not to come home.
I told him and he wouldn't listen.
Use the letter.
What letter?
That groveling letter he wrote about you when we let him out of prison. Use it.
That was 3 years ago. 30.
Use it. It will work.
My meetings with Ninoy were very cordial and happy. Ninoy was very close to us. I will read to you a letter he wrote a surgeon who treated him at the Philippine Heart Center. When the ultimate mist of controversy is melted by the rising sun, her works for her people will find final recognition.
What's the matter? You're so tense.
Oh. Nothing. I'm just tired, I guess. Tired.
Listen, darling. I don't know what you've been doing these last couple of months, but I've been like a nun. Am I doing something wrong?
Oh, no. No, you're not doing anything wrong. It's not you, Angie.
Who is it? Don't bullshit me, Tony. I'm too old for it.
Oh. It doesn't matter who she is.
It's the girl who was tortured, isn't it?
Oh, shit.
I don't know, Angie. It just hit me. I don't know. This girl makes me feel so alive.
And you never felt that way about me, right?
Yes, of course. I mean, when we first got together, I felt that way.
Well, that's it then, isn't it?
What's it?
You've really done it this time. Selfish. You've always been selfish. I'll send somebody for my things.
Are you going back to New York?
No, I'm staying here. I've got a job to do.
See this man who steps up there?
Yeah.
He's handing something, probably a gun, to the guy in uniform.
A gun?
It doesn't prove anything by itself, but it is another piece in the jigsaw. Now, from the time Aquino steps out of sight, it is exactly 9 seconds. Not long enough for him to get to the bottom of the stairs and onto the tarmac. And 4 more shots. The ones that killed Gallman.
Oh, I remember the 4 shots.
If Gallman was the assassin, why didn't they grab him? There were more than a dozen armed security men around the plane. And where could he have been hiding? So that none of them could see him. It's a joke.
Well, what can you prove?
We can prove that the military version is not true. We know they're lying.
So Ver did it. So Ver ordered it.
Has to be.
And Marcos?
He was probably so sick he didn't know what was going on. Or, possibly, it was his plan. Or he was seeing people 3 days before Aquino got back. But there is no doubt in my